Hello everybody, how are you? My name is Rick Sadler. I want to apologize, I've got a bit of a scratchy throat here, so I'll try to get through without coughing on you too much. And I do thank you very much for being here. Again, my name is Rick Sadler. I'm the owner, president of Hit and Run Candlesticks, and I would like to share with you what I call, it's a series we've started called Learn from Example. And after doing webinars over and over and over for years, I found that what people seem to like best and seem to follow best is show me how you do it. What do you do? What do you look for? How do you, where do you put those stops? What do you do about, excuse me, targets, entries, things like that. So we've started this series of Learn by Example. Now, I hope you understand, we only have 45 minutes here, so there is no way in the world we can get through everything that I would like to share with you. It's just impossible to do that. So we've put a couple of slides together to give you a little bit of overview about how we sort of operate. And, some people might take to that, some people might not. Every trader is a little bit different, and everybody looks for something a little bit different. I've got this slide up here. I've got to go through this little disclosure thing, let you know that trading is risky. It truly is. Never trade with more money than you can't afford to lose. Never trade with your rent payment, your house rent, okay? Never do that. Never trade because you're desperate to earn money, and don't overtrade. That can also hurt you. Please, realize that trading is a slow process, and it is extremely risky. So just be careful. I hope everybody read through this right here. There we go here. Okay. Hit and Run Candlesticks, we also have a division of our Hit and Run Candlesticks called Right Way Options, and I'll just touch on that a tiny bit toward the end. And we also have Trader Vision 2020, which I don't think I'm going to talk much about this today, but it's something that we have that most people find very interesting. Some topic that I would like, at some point in this 45 minutes, I'm going to talk about double-digit profits, which I'm going to show you some slides, and you're going to see a lot of that. I'm going to talk about confidence in your trade. You've got to be, excuse me, you have got to be confident when you trade. You've got to trust what you're looking at. Not all trades work. Look, let's face those facts, okay? I love it when I hear people say, "Man, I've had 100 winning trades in a row. Let me show you how. Give me your $892 and I'll show you how to do that." Look, folks, that's not possible, okay? It doesn't work out that way. It's not. We'll talk about a couple trading tricks and tips. Tricks. I just found a error here. Should be tricks and tips. A couple of candlestick hard lessons. I do follow candlesticks very closely. And the reason I do is they tell you exactly what price action is doing. Excuse me. They tell us exactly what price action is doing, and it also tells us what the attitude of the other traders out there are doing, or investors. And then we're going to touch a little bit on support and resistance. Oh, it changed for me. Okay. I got to make sure I don't click my left button there. Alrighty. I want to take a look at this trade right here, CSTM. Now, we work in real time. I'm not going to show you charts that are 82 years old, things like that. We work in real time. There's some charts here that I think are a week old, week and a half old, because I did steal from a recent webinar I did here, but I did add a new chart like this one right here. This is a current trade. We are currently long on this trade, and we did enter the trade on 8/23, which is right here, for 800 shares at $5.60. That 8/29. That's right there. Now, this was one of our featured. This is one of our our members featured trade idea, what we call a trade idea, which if you go to the website, you can sign up for a free trade idea every day. You'll see, you'll be notified of that trade idea, and it shows up on our website every morning before the market opens up. Well, that's when it was a trade idea. So what happens now is, oh man, I just realized something. My drawing tools here. Bear with me. 3, 2, 1 second. There we go. Okay, so what that means is we're looking for a buy somewhere in this area right here. We're not too hung up on, you know, exactly $5.36 or $5.37. And the reason is we're looking at charts that have solid chart patterns that basically are coming off support, coming off of candlestick signals or price patterns and or support that have potentially, that can potentially give you what I call a trading window, and the trading window is something that is somewhat large, and the idea is to collect a chunk of that, not pick the bottom, not pick the top, but simply collect a chunk of that. That's simply all we're looking for there. And here's a case where we had a nice little doji up here. We pulled back a little bit, and then it just started going sideways with another doji. Well, I took the entry right in here because you can see that's still right in that in that box area right there. How come that doesn't go away? Oops. My apologies there. Whoa, what happened? There we go. Sorry about that. So with this little area right in here, we took this trade, and it just ran up again, ran up. By the way, this is today. I don't know exactly where we're closing today on this, but this is today. Now I ended up selling 400 shares at $7.40 right here, collecting 30. Actually, it was 31 some percent on this trade right here, and I'm still in it. Well, what I've done is I came up here and I've put a stop in now. Now this was going to be a target area, $6.50, but the chart, it just took off. So from that point, I scrapped the target and just monitored the trade, and then it ran up to the next target we had. Like I say, the 650 was a target. Then we were going to go to about 720. But it ran up to that, and that's where I ended up taking, the next day, taking 50% off the table, or 400 shares right in here. And, you know, you can see that this trade could have been bought anywhere inside this box. This is what we look for right here. You know, this buy box area could have been bought right in here. It also could have been bought on a breakout of this resistance area. And as long as you've got the potential, then you don't have to be so worried about collecting these trick prices, you know, collecting this, getting down there and buying at these super lows and picking bottoms, which we all know picking bottoms just doesn't work. And, you know, it's just darn right awkward, too, if anyone sees you doing it. So it's picking bottoms just does not make anybody money long term. Not at all. So here's a trade that still looks good, and it's all based on support. We have a trend line here. Trend line tagged, came back, bought it here, using candlestick signals or price action, using support and resistance. There's support. This was a resistance area. This was also a resistance area here. So, and I did. I took the trade inside the box because that's my safety zone right in there. Because I know that if it comes back below this low here, I know that I'm going to close it out. I don't know why it keeps doing this. I apologize. Maybe we'll just Well, I apologize for this trouble here. There's always something, isn't there? And now I have no idea what's going on. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to leave it like this. I hope that's okay. I hope everyone doesn't mind. It seems like this might work a little better. We won't have the troubles. You're just going to see these slides over there, which is fine. Here's another chart. And by the way, I think if you go look at CWEI, I've got my chart up here. I believe it's actually still working right now. Now I am since out of it. Yeah, it's still working, maybe a little toppy at the moment. But like I say, I'm out of this. Now, this was one of these trades here. Another, again, these are trade ideas we send out to all our members. And then I can't say offhand whether this was actually a featured trade idea that went to the public, but everything I have here is documented as, hey, this is a trade idea, and here's where we're looking at buying it. Here's what we're looking at, stops, things like that, targets. So nothing here is cherry-picked. These are all facts, put out. So what we've got now is we're moving up here. We're coming off this little bottom, and we started moving up. And this right here was the day. What is this? About June 22nd is when it was originally set as a members trade idea. Now keep in mind, when we set trade ideas out there, we're looking for charts that has good potential. It does not mean that we're buying it here and we're selling it at the top up here. That is not what I'm trying to promote here at all. In fact, I think that is just not a winner's game. To think that somebody can actually pick a stock here and say, hey, this is going to go up 130%, I don't believe that's possible. I've been doing this 28 years now, and I hear lots and lots of claims about this, but it's always after the fact. Always after the fact. So I just don't think it's worthwhile to chase that sort of thing here, and nor did I make 132% here. In fact, I ended up buying it. In fact, I didn't buy it till it broke out over here. This was the trade idea. It rallied up and it got away from me because we look at this buy box. Look at this buy box in here. And it got away from me, so I said, no, I'm not going to chase it, because there's one thing I know about charts, and this is just because I've gone through the education, and that is that charts always pull back and give you a second chance. If it's truly going to be a bullish chart, it will pull back and it will give you a second chance. And here it pulls back, and sure enough, and now what happens is I'm going to use this as my resistance area, draw a line across. And by the way, whenever you draw a resistance line, never use them paper thin. Don't use them paper thin like that. Draw them fat, very fat, because resistance is not about to the penny. Resistance is about an area. Support is about an area, not to the penny. So as I use this for support, here we broke out of support. Now I'm going to look at buying on an inside day of this candle. And an inside day, any one of these days right in there, any one of these days. We're sitting on support. We're buying close to support. I'm buying it any one of these days right here. It starts turning up. So, I mean, I start seeing candlestick signals like this one. Man, I want to be a buyer. And I understand that it doesn't have to move the very next day. I wish we could all pick charts that, hey, buy this right now because it's going to move up 15% tomorrow or even later today. I wish we could do that. But the reality is you can't. It just doesn't work quite like that. So I tend to work with a lot of chart patterns that I have found successful over the years, high producing chart patterns. Also, something about charts that you'll notice is all charts tend to swing. I'm going to change that color. They tend to swing. All bullish charts tend to swing like this. That's what they do, and this thing just took off from there. So what we want to do is we want to look to buy at the bottom or coming out of the swing. And typically we're buying coming out, not always on the bottom. That's kind of tough to do sometimes. Now in this case, I think this is a perfect example of how you could have done that. So anyway, it rallies up. You could have sold it up here, pull back. Let me clean some of this up. Now what I want to do, and I've actually got this line in there right there, but I'm going to highlight that just a little bit for you. And now we're going to take this top and draw it across. That becomes support. That becomes support. So if you bought the breakout, hey, you're good to go. And it pulls back. If you think you're getting punished, you're not. Not as long as it stays above support, and is not as long as you don't buy it too far from support. So you can see how this just flattened out. We have a doji bullish engulf, and from there it just took off like a rocket. So if this is 132% from here to here, you know, do you think you could have made some good money right there? Or how about just some good money right there? That's excellent money. And for a swing trader, that's what we're looking for, those kind of trades right there. You know, I think we're all dreaming if we think we can all get 132% trades. But I think you could get 10, 15, 20% all the time. Not every single trade, but you put that into the mix of some of your more common 5, 6, 7, 8% trades, and now all of a sudden you are doing quite well with your trading. Here's another double-digit gain, CHK, which, by the way, I think it's still working. It's still a great trade. Now, I had mentioned that one of the topics was not all trades work out. Sometimes you get stopped out. And this is the case on this one right here. Well, this is half of the story on this one. This, again, was a members trade idea. And I personally bought this on 7/27, and I was stopped out on August 2nd for, let's just call it a 6% loss. And you see how we popped up and broke out right there? To me, that's a classic buy. I mean, that's just a classic. And I'm going to come in here and we're going to put that support level in there. There's that support level. And once we broke out, and then we pulled back a little bit, and then we put this piercing candle in, 3-bar support here. Hey, this was the featured trade idea. Makes all the sense in the world to me. To this day, it still makes sense to me that this would be a good trade idea on this day. But not all trades work. Well, as it moved down, I was stopped out here, like I said, for that 6% loss. But it doesn't change that I still like the chart. It doesn't change that the chart is still a very good quality profit-producing chart just because somebody is stopped out. When you look at this chart, yeah, stopped out, but on this pullback, did it change the chart at all? Are we not still above the breakout line? We are. So here it just kind of wobbles around a little bit, tries to move up, but it pulls back and ends up actually making a little double bottom here. Well, what I did is I rebought it right here. There we go there. I bought on 8.12, I sold on 8.23 for 26.93%. Of course, we need to back out the 6% loss, so really I only made about 20% on the trade. So there's a case where it's a great chart. The trade did not work out, but if you just get back in the trade when the time is right, and now you can make some money up here. Now, a couple things on this trade. Somebody might be looking at this and say, well, shouldn't support be right here? No, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be at all. And that's a common mistake of new traders or struggling traders. Because as we move up like this is just froth. This is noise. What you want to look for is touches. You want to look for as many touches as possible. So I'm going to put that little line right there, and now let's do this. Look how we've got a touch. That's definitely a touch, a touch, a touch, a touch. Let's call that one a touch. It's close enough. Touch. We could call this one a touch. We could call that one a touch. So where's support now? It's where the bulls and the bears have a battle. It's where the bears and bulls have a scuffle. And there's a tug-of-war going on. Tug-of-war. This right here, it's fluff. It's noise. That's all it is. This is where the support line is, right in here. So from there, you can see that we did not pull into that area. So this chart was still extremely good as it pulled back into this area and then started up. Now, I want to stop here for a second because I also mentioned that that I have a developing this cough here. I also mentioned a little bit about candlesticks and hard lessons on candlesticks. If you run out and buy a candlestick book on page, I don't know, 97, you read about dark cloud covers, and you read on this in this book on page 97. I'm just joking about page 97, by the way. I'm making that up. But here's what you do read about dark cloud covers: is, oh my gosh, maybe I better short this thing. Get out of the way. This stock is going to head south. This stock is going to, man, let's just short it because it's going down. No, that's not what dark cloud covers mean necessarily, nor do big piercing candles mean it's going to go up. It just does not mean that sort of thing. That's not what candlestick signals mean. You have to understand that there's a placement involved on the chart. Also, you have to understand, just because you might have a let's say the placement was up here high. Okay, you might see more of a sell-off. I'll give it that. But even that doesn't mean the chart is going to run south and you should short it. There we go. Well, we can do that. And expect to make all kinds of green money moving down. And this is a hard lesson for people to learn about candlestick signals. And when you see charts that do that, those are cherry-picked charts. It's not one signal that says, hey, this chart is going to, look, a bullish engulf, yay, it's going to run to $82, or, oh my gosh, a dark cloud cover, this chart's going to fall. All that means is the price is going to move lower. It's going to move lower until it runs into support. And then price is going to decide whether support is going to hold it or not. It's not that one particular candlestick signal that makes the big difference. So this placement is not in a real overbought area. It's not in an area that's been trending up for 99 years or 99 weeks or anything like that. So what happens is that does tell us we're going to see a pullback. So sure enough, we got the pullback, but it does not mean that it's a bad chart. It does not mean that. I better get going here. I'm going to be in a little trouble and run out of time. Here's another double-digit gain. And again, this was the trade idea. Now, this was the day of the trade idea. Note the rally up and the nice little flag, and then the bullish candle with a little doji here. So I was looking at this as being a doji continuation pattern that would continue up. And you know, it still is. It just didn't continue right away. Nowhere in the trading world, nowhere in the chart does it say when you have a chart pattern or when you have a candlestick signal, does it have to confirm the very next day? Well, this was the trade idea. Again, hit the members list on 7/27. Down it goes, puts in a little bullish engulf, and this is where now it could have been bought on the breakout. Or, you know, you might even have bought it here, but the pullback wasn't enough to take you out. There's just no way that would have taken you out. And you are up, 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 up. So if you look at this right here, if you would have bought it on the day we had a featured trade idea, you would be up 29%. If you waited till it pulled back and gave you the bullish engulf, you'd been up 38%. Either way you look at it, I'm kind of betting that most anybody here would be happy with either one of those profits. When you look at, and there's a little bit more support over here to the left, but when you look at this chart, can you see why there might be support right in that area? And again, over on the left, there's a little. Let's see here. Here we are. Okay, this is a trade. I actually did a video of this. It's on the website. I forget exactly where. I sent it out to everyone that subscribes to us. And it's just a little short 2-minute video talking about this trade. Now, this was a members trade idea here on July 18th, right here. I'm sorry, right here. Now, I actually took this trade right here the day before, and then it was a members trade idea. And you can see the little support that it created. We pull back. Look where it stopped, right here on support. So if you would have bought it here or bought it here or bought it on the breakout, boom, it nailed our first target. We ended up selling it for 13.25, actually up a little higher for 16%. I'm sorry, selling 300 shares. Selling 300 shares. We had bought 600 shares at 1060. It pulled back, and because this is a support line, we just let it pull back. We trust the trade. We have confidence in the trade. That's a huge key in trading. So we let it pull back, and then it started moving up again. Now, I was not expecting the gap. That was a huge surprise. A nice surprise, but a huge surprise. Gaps are gifts, so we took off another 200 shares. So now we only have 100 shares left, but we collected 29% on this gap. Thank you, gap. Well, this is our new support line right there. Support. See how we had a battle? See how it battled? It battled. That's a battle and broke through. Support. Price pulled back. We're still owning 100 shares. Not worried about it. Boom. Up it goes. There you are there. On 8/29, this is the exact shot that I put on the video. As of 8/29, still holding 100 shares at 47%. I did raise the stop to 15.58. We have since sold it, and I forget, but it was just slightly above the 47% mark for the last 100 shares. And by doing this, all we did was use candlesticks, price action, support and resistance, and something we call Trader Vision 2020 to plan the trade. That's all we did. All this was because of planning, and this is what happens when you plan a trade. It actually works, and you're not shooting from the hip trying to buy and sell everything and buy and sell everything. You know, where you feel like you've lost control, and just planning is very, very important. Here's a trading tip I would like to share, and I certainly don't mean to offend anyone. It's just, I've been trading for 28 years. been running the website now for over 10, and moderating trading rooms longer than that. And one of the major things that I see is lack of confidence in people that are trading. If you're a very successful trader, then you've really overcome this. But if you're just starting out or you're a struggling trader, your confidence is so important. And quite honestly, if you rely on somebody to give you a trade all the time, your confidence will never grow. You'll never be the trader that you could be. And confidence comes from doing the work. I'm not saying you have to spend hours in front of your computer, not at all. But you do have to go through some educational time, and you do have to spend a little bit of time to build that confidence within yourself. Setting stops too tight and getting stopped out, it's a dead giveaway. I mean, it is a solid dead giveaway of no confidence in your work because you're so afraid to lose a few bucks. Oh, I can't. If it goes down, I'm so afraid I'm going to lose. If you build confidence with yourself, you'll learn to trust your chart. You'll learn to trust where you draw support and resistance. You'll learn to trust your indicators, your moving averages, whatever you may use. Here's a very common excuse I hear from people that I coach because they set their stops too tight. They don't want big losses. That's what they'll say. Here's what they're really saying. This is a truth. I'm hoping for immediate money. I'm hoping that the chart I buy, for whatever unknown reason I have bought it, because they don't know why they've really bought it. It has a nice big, it has a nice big bullish engulf in there, and basically buying it, they set their stop super tight, and they're hoping that it just moves up so they can make 2, 3, 4%, or who knows, maybe it gaps and they don't have to worry about everything in the middle, and now they're into the gap making money. So confidence is so very important. This is a very hard lesson for traders to learn, and it's swinging from the hard right edge. Big mistake. I would venture to say most traders that we can get away from the hard right edge, I mean a very high percentage, start making money almost immediately. And there's so much will open their, once their eyes are open to get away from the hard right edge, there can be so much gained from that. And when you see a chart like this, it's gapped up, it's moved sideways, you've got a nice little support area, it pops up, all of a sudden you put in this bearish engulf. Once again, you dig out that candlestick book you bought for $8.99 or $39.99 or whatever, and you look up bullet bearish candlestick, what does it mean? And every single time it'll tell you that it means short. It means short on weakness. It means look out below. That's what it does because, well, it just does. That's not what that means at all. This is your support line. Until it falls below that line, this is a great looking chart. Absolutely a great looking chart. So we get the bearish engulf, and it does its due diligence. I mean, the price follows its rule and says, yep, you got a lower low. Yep, that's usually what that means. And then it pops right back up. Now, it doesn't pop up every single time, certainly not the very next candle. This could have just as easily come right down to support. And this is another one here where we ended up buying it on this dark inside day here. I love inside day buys. And then up we went and made some money, closed it out on that right there. So I want to go back to that. Again, if you pull yourself away from the hard right edge, and if you, in other words, if this chart, if you bought this chart on the breakout, or if you bought it on this day here, you didn't buy it because of this candle. You bought it because it broke out of this chart, of this area right here. That's why you bought it. So it broke out. Is it still broken out? It sure is. Yeah, absolutely. It is still broken out. And the trade continues on up. Here's a trade where, you know, the idea is to buy near support. So see that little line right there? That's support. That now becomes resistance, resistance, resistance. It broke out. You could have bought it here, here. For that matter, you could have bought it all the way up here. More than likely, this would have taken you out either with a stop or with fear. What's wrong with that trade? Not one thing. It's still above the breakout line, and it moved for 50%. Again, these are all trades that we put out there to our members each and every day, and every one of these are relatively new. This here is a couple weeks old. All right, look, I need to get through some slides here. We also have a division at Hit and Run Candlesticks that's called Right Way Options. It's run by Mr. Doug Campbell. He gave me this slide today. We talked about it in the trading room a little bit today, and these are as of today. Current open positions, BAX, CAT, your EXPE, JPM, Moncito, UNP. This is what they're all up. This one's down. And this is as of today, current positions. Today, Right Way Options sold they took profits at the target today to the tune of 70%. Right Way Options, when you're a Right Way Options member or you're a trial member, and if you hang tough with me, I'll show you how you can become a trial member. You'll receive this in your email every day, along with a video about how to place the trade option, what we're looking for in targets and stops and whatnot. But you'll get this cut sheet like this along with, like I say, a little video, very short video. It's not long and drawn out at all. Here's some things that were said in the trading room at Right Way Options today. I'm not going to read all this in lieu of time. Here's a guy, Don W. One trade, and it was the STX. He paid for his membership for the next 2 years. Jay Flyer, $1,200 on STX. JW, I didn't even read this one. 14 times the subscription cost. Wow. Okay, I didn't even read that one. Here's what we have. I'm going to start at the bottom, and I've got a link. I don't know if I can post the link in there in the room here at all. I'll post it up here, and if maybe somebody there can post it out. I just posted it there. But we have a 30-day membership to both Right Way Options and Hit and Run Candlesticks for $14. That's to both for $14, 30 days. This is our standard pricing. Hit and Run Candlesticks, full access. You're a complete member, 100% member. You have full access to the trading room, daily featured trade idea. There's anywhere from 10 to 15 for the members each. Oh, it's right there, 10 to 15 for the members. We have Tuesday night member e-learning classes. For the summer, we've gone to every other Tuesday, doing one for the public. I'm not sure if that's going to stay or not as we move into the winter. And then we've got quite a few training videos listed. Right Way Options. This is, once again, 30 days, $14. I posted the link out there if anyone is interested. This is the normal rate, $75 a month, $373 annual, $697 annual. These are real trades. These are trades that Doug, he's got his own money into. There's no strategy limitations. In other words, it's not options a la carte. Well, for this strategy, you've got to pay another $100 a month, or for that strategy you pay, you know, another $50 a month or something like that. Now it's one price. You're trading options. You learn how to trade options. Doug is an amazing educator. If you've ever listened to him talk, you know what I mean. He's worth listening to at least once. You'll see. You'll definitely see what I mean. There's no quotas. In other words, look, we're not going to say, well, you're going to get 5 trades on Friday afternoon. There you go. No. When there's trades to be made, we put out trades. When there's no trades to be made, we don't put out trades. Very simple. Our job is to help everybody make money, not push trades your way. There's no mysterious, unseen black box or anything like that at all. No upsell, platinum, gold, silver, double platinum, anything like that. So, you know, we just feel that you know, the $14 30-day trial is very worth it. I guarantee you will come across, you will leave at the end of your 30 days if you don't become a member. No hard feelings at all. You spent 14 bucks. Look, you've spent $14 on a whole lot of things that you probably wish you hadn't. I'll guarantee you will leave with no less than 10 aha moments. And if you don't, you just tell me I didn't get any aha moments, and I'll give you $14 back. No questions asked, not one. I would appreciate you telling me, you know, if there was anything other than that, but I won't beat you up for anything. So 14 bucks, 30 days to right way options and hit and run candlesticks. Renee, I want to say thank you very much for having me. I ran out of time, so there's not much for questions. But if you sign, we have free trade ideas on the website. If you sign up, we do have public e-learning this coming Tuesday, so you'll certainly be invited to that. And with that, again, I'll say thank you, and I don't want to run over time here. So I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.